Hello, everyone. My name is Daisy Papp, and I'm reaching out to you from SelfRecoding. And with me is Laura Worley from Las Vegas. Hello, Laura.
Hi, Daisy. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. How are you?
Good. Thanks for inviting me today.
Yeah, well, exciting. I'm very pleased that you have such courage and trust that I'm going to introduce you to the formula for finding true love in a very, very short essence. So we want to help change lives, not only my own, of course, because it starts always within, but also your life and the lives that are crossing your path in your work life, in your family life, with friends, friendship, community, and everyone who loves Laura. Let's see how that goes. You ready for that?
That sounds great. Love is a great topic because it's the one thing that everybody wants and everybody needs to, and it's the biggest healing that is in this world, really.
Yeah, and when I asked 1,000 people, I received 1,000 different answers. There were specific categories, but it was nothing extraordinary. So people always want more love, better love, love from someone they cannot be loved by, or so the unachievable love, or and it's so interesting. So, what is your definition of love?
Probably unconditional love, somebody that just loves you for you. You don't have to be anything different than who you are, and they just accept the good, the bad, the ugly. So, because that's really hard, because a lot of times love is very conditional by different people, and maybe they don't mean to make it conditional, but sometimes it really is.
Well, I have a different perception of love, and I do believe that unconditional love is unhealthy.
Oh, okay.
And I tell you why. Because doesn't it mean, let's say, I love you, Laura, and you step on my foot, and you say sorry, and I tell you, that really hurt. You say, yeah, I'm sorry. 2 minutes later, you step on my foot again, and again, and again. And you always say sorry, so you're very proper. Would that mean, because I'm committed to you and I'm committed to love, that now I need to love you because I once committed the same way, although you're hurting me over and over again? So this is just an example. It could be, let's say, the partner who's cheating, and then they say sorry, or the partner who is emotionally explosive or aggressive, abusive.
And that's really a great point, because I see a ton of clients that exactly the same thing that what you just said. They love, but they're getting hurt constantly, or it means giving up who they are. Like they're not important really in the relationship.
So how can that be love then?
Right.
So therefore, I believe unconditional love is unhealthy.
Okay.
I do believe love is very, very holy, almost. Not in solely a biblical way, but it's saint. It is so much greater than anything else, I believe. But there needs to be a set of boundaries that are healthy. So, for example, when you step on my foot again and again, I can say to you, look, Laura, I understand that you step on my foot over and over again, and that is truly very hurtful for me. And I'm going to distance myself from you and love you from a distance, because this is unhealthy for me, and it is not loving to me.
Very good. Yeah.
What I discovered is there are so many gurus and leaders and coaches, and they're all over on TV and YouTube and this and that and the other, and they always say, oh, you know what you're lacking in these big seminars or boot camps or what they have, or intensive weeks, and you know what I'm referring to. And they say, oh, you lack self-love. And then everybody comes home after that boot camp or the week, and they say, yeah, so the only thing, I'm not messed up at all. The only thing I really need is self-love. I need to improve my self-love. No one tells them how to do that.
True.
So we're going to change that.
Okay, awesome.
Okay. So you mentioned to me your definition of love, and I wonder, are you interested in hearing my definition of love?
Absolutely. But can I say one thing?
Yeah.
Okay. So my unconditional love is, I was thinking of my husband, and that is because he has loved me unconditionally through like everything, like the good, the bad, the ugly, the most horrific things have happened, and he just loved me anyway. And he's like, we made a choice to stay together despite all of it. And so for me, that's unconditional love. So I wanted to explain kind of where my brain was about that unconditional love. So
yes, and that is beautiful, and I think you're a beautiful example for a wonderful marriage with the ups and downs, just like a heartbeat, right?
Yeah. Lots of ups and downs for sure.
And that is what life is all about.
Yeah.
When clients come to us and they say, "Oh, all I want is to be happy," and when they come to me, I tell them, that's not achievable. Why don't you choose an achievable goal? Because otherwise, you set yourself up for disappointment. And then they, scratch their head and, also, I cannot be happy. I said, that's not what I said. But isn't it a healthier goal to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to learn the skills to live a content life, no matter what life throws at me.
Right. Being happy. Okay, so I got to share this. Is that thought is, so I'll be very short in the story. There was a story where, there was a lot of like trials happening to this person. And instead of saying, please, asking for help, but to a higher power is, please change my circumstances. That wasn't the prayer or the thought. It was, just give me the ability to handle this so that it's a light, burden is light. And that, like what you're saying, content, I can still be content despite this horrible thing happening.
That's exactly. I so agree with you. That's beautiful. I agree with you 100%, because it is not achievable that life is going to be like a slab of ice or slate of ice. No, life is going. There will be waves, and when we become good surfers, then we say, "Wow, great, another wave. Let's ride it."
Yeah.
And then I'm in an anticipation. And every challenge is a great opportunity to grow and evolve. And that's what life is about.
Yeah.
Right?
I agree.
So now I share with you my definition of love.
Okay.
Love is not only a feeling or a phrase. Love is behavior.
Okay. So you're going to explain that more.
Yeah. Usually sometimes when I say that, then people say, that's like a slap in the face. You take out all the romance. And I said, no, this is just the basics, and let's put the romance back in a healthy way. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I usually do that with clients, that I put down the screen of my computer so you can see. Here's my famous green paper. And I'm going to explore it with you a little bit. Okay?
Yeah.
So, and you tell me if you can see it well. You see it like that well?
Yep, I do.
Okay. So what I just said, love is behavior.
Are you writing upside down?
I do.
Wow, that's good.
Thank you. Well, it's the easiest way to explain something. Otherwise, I have to turn no, so it's easier like that. So when I say love is behavior, now how could we possibly find a formula where we can measure specific behaviors? Because we need to say, okay, we need to define it, right? So what are the behaviors that are turning into love? And I'm breaking it down for you. And the formula that I'm talking about is the 5 + 2 = love. I even wrote a book about it, so you can find it on Amazon or as a PDF on my website. We can link it all together at the end of the video. So this is the 5, these are the fives. R for respect. A for admiration. C for consideration. Can you see it like that?
Yeah, that's great.
Okay. D for dignity. E for empathy. And then comes the +2. Is HW, and I explain, and FTH. Having a word, and following through.
I will say I am impressed with your upside down writing, okay?
Thank you. I love it. Following through in a timely manner, and I just put here a clock so that we can. So this is the formula, the 5+2, and let's explore a little deeper what that means.
Okay.
When we look at these behavioral patterns, if somebody is consistently respectful, shows admiration, is considerate, behaves in ways that neither your nor mine and my dignity is jeopardized, being empathetic, having a word, we say something and then we follow through in a timely manner. Having a word means say what you mean what you say. So when I ask you, did you like my coffee? And you say, yeah, it was wonderful. And then you sit in the car and you say, oh my God, it was the worst coffee in the world. Mm-hmm. That's not saying what you mean and meaning what you say. Okay, and following through in a timely manner. When you say, hey, Daisy, I'm going to meet you at noon, then you will be there at noon. And if not, if you cannot make it, don't want to make it, you changed your mind, you cannot do that, then you inform me or the third party as soon as you know that you won't make it. Following through in a timely manner. Now, if a person consistently behaves this way, what do you believe they earn?
Well, their behavior is something that you can trust.
There you go. You're the first person out of hundreds that hits the nail on. This is genius. You're good, Laura. Yes, they earn trust. That's it. When a person consistently behaves based on the 5+2, they earn trust. Without trust, you have what?
Nothing.
There you go. I agree with you. Now, when we have trust, let's say, so we earn trust, and then we add to that some romance, affection, attraction. Do you think this is the formula for a really long-lasting, loving relationship?
Yep.
Have you ever thought of it this way?
No, I have not. Not spelled out like that, no. But that is really how to have a long relationship with somebody.
Yeah, but we were not taught how to have a relationship. No one taught us. It's like we need to self-experiment, and then all the heartbreaks and such.
I think, Daisy, I think that a lot of people, unfortunately, the younger the people are, at least I find, is that especially if you've been in an abusive growing up, you believe that it's okay to treat you terribly.
Because that's the standard. That's what they're familiar with. And the brain always goes back to what's familiar and tries to reject what's unfamiliar.
Right. So to be honest with you, I think so few people even have one clue of what love is. And
that's what I want to change in this world. And I appreciate you volunteering and helping me and putting that out, because I do believe that we have so much in common, and we have the same wishes and dreams for a better world for all of us. Now, I believe a better life always starts within. So now let's have a look. So I do believe it is way easier to have a look at another person. Oh, well, you're not respecting me, or, pointing fingers. And it's easier to see how another person behaves or does not behave, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if we don't know what respect is, because when I say dog, you may think of your cute little lap dog, and I think maybe of the beast that's in my neighborhood that tries to chew my garden tools, and me too. Hmm? So we want to define it. So what is respect? And
I'll let you define that.
yeah, we will add it later in links, and we can also add it in later. So what the definitions are of respect, so that I'm respecting you. I respect your opinion. I respect your time. I respect your likes and dislikes. I respect your belongings, your wishes, your thoughts, your differences. Admiration. How freely do I share my admiration? Well, I really admire you, Laura, for what you're doing. And we spoke about that before we started recording this video, right? And how considerate am I when I know that you're trying to stay away from ice cream nowadays, and I come to see you and visit you, and I bring that 1 gallon of vanilla ice cream with cookie dough in it. That's not very considerate, right?
Right.
Do I behave in ways that I'm not jeopardizing neither your nor my dignity? When I scream and yell and shout at you, not only am I jeopardizing your dignity, but my own. Don't I? Right? And then how empathetic can I be? I have empathy with you that you have something to do on Monday, and I have empathy for the situation. Can I share it? Do I share it? And then I go in there and have a look at, on a scale from 0 to 10. Okay, how good am I when it comes to respect, to admiration, consideration, dignity, empathy? Do I have a word? Do I say what I mean, and do I mean what I say? How true is that on a scale from 0 to 10? Self-reflection, right? And when I say, you know what, tomorrow morning I get up at 7 a.m. and I'm going to ride my bicycle for 1 hour. But then at 6:45, the alarm goes off and I say, you know what, I changed my mind. My bed is so comfy, I stay in bed. So I do not follow through. How can I trust myself? Now that's the question, because when I don't trust myself, how will I be possibly believing that out there is only one person who I could possibly trust? So again, it starts within. When I start behaving in this way, and let's say all these points at least 8 plus, so on a scale from 0 to 10, then I start trusting myself. When I trust myself, I then can also see other people when I observe them, and I can call them out on these behaviors. Hey, it really hurt me that last time you told me you're going to send me an email and you never did, and I wonder what happened. And then I can verbalize it. We can reduce so many fights and arguments once when we know what to verbalize. We have a tangible scale here. Okay, so, oh yeah, you said you're going to call me, but you never did. So you didn't follow through. That didn't feel good to me. So I can verbalize it more easily. And then I can hold my partner or business partner, family members, siblings, neighbors in the community at work accountable. And I truly believe so. I work, as you do, with clients from around the world. And once they got familiar with that formula, their life changed for once and for all, because they now have a simple, measurable tool where they can say, yeah, John is a loving person. Therefore, I can be loving. Therefore, I can choose better associations, better friendships, better partners when I know what I'm looking for. Otherwise, it's like we're going into the supermarket and we have no clue what we want to buy, and then we end up with all kind of things at the cashier, and the bill is way too high. It's just like with relationships, right? Sounds familiar, I'm sure, to some out there.
So when you came up with this book about love, like what inspired you to do that?
Well, it was a combination of things. Like it's never one thing. I believe it's like the combination of things. So I had many great teachers, and I have one of my teachers. He's a psychology professor in Ohio, and he always mentioned, that's not loving, and the behavior. And so what I did, I took some parts and pieces from that, and then from my knowledge that I had before, and from the knowledge that I was gaining in that period of time, reflecting on my own life, reflecting on my own past. And then I realized, oh, wow. So I started sharing this with clients. And one client of mine, Danny, she kicked me in the booty, and she said, Daisy, you need to write that as a book. You need to do it. I said, yes, I will do it. Now is not the right time. She said, you know that you need to do it. And I said, yeah, well, okay. But then something, let's say, more tragic happened in my life, and that gave me the kick. My last relative passed. So I have a family. I have a very small family. I have a living son, but other than that, I don't have any family. And my uncle, who was my last anchor, he passed. And then I said, okay, now I sit down and now I write it down. And the book was written in 6 weeks. Editing, of course, was taking a while longer. And then putting the images, the JPEGs and the illustrations in there, and the footnotes and the resources, so what I had. And then, of course, my editor in Australia, she, back and forth, and then formatting for Kindle, for the print, for the PDF. It was a lot of work, but in less than 1 year, it was out on the market. And I felt, okay, so it's like giving birth. That you're an author yourself.
Well, I'm in the midst of all that. So it's at the editor, and now we're going back and forth. And so, yeah, I understand totally. So,
but it's so exciting. It is so exciting.
It's exciting. It really is. I mean, it's been hard work. There's no doubt about it. But what was more hard work for me is the process of writing it for a year. So it took a year to really get it out. But I felt so not pressured, but yeah, pushed to do it, pushed to get it done.
Yeah. And I do believe that these are the best books when they're inside and it pokes you. It's like, hey, hello, don't forget about me. Hey, I want to be out there. And I truly believe that feelings, emotions, everything that's in there, it's like joy and pain. It needs to go somewhere, and it will find an outlet. And I do believe that writing a book is quite a healthy outlet.
I do too. I think so too. Especially if you're inspired to do it and you feel like that you're just supposed to do it. And that's what I felt. Like I was supposed to do it. I was pushed to do it. There was no way I could really say no anyway. So I just did it.
Yeah, that's wonderful. But that's when you're in alignment with you and you're loving to you. So you have that sensation, you have that feeling, and then you respect it. Maybe add admiration. Yeah, I admire that book within me that wants to come out. And then be considerate to make yourself a time frame when to do what and how to build it up, and to build the structure first, and then do it with dignity and be empathetic. I have a writer's block. Be empathetic. Take the bubble bath, pop that bottle of champagne, go for a walk, take a nap, listen to that music, dance to that music, or just do nothing and look at the clouds dancing in the sky. And then have a word. Do it when you said you're going to do it. And that is how great things are born. And when I see I have several business owners who are learning the formula for finding true love. And what happened is that they restructured their companies based on this, and they only hire people based on that.
Oh, that's awesome.
And interestingly enough, within 6 months, the entire company is just changing from the inside out. People learn how to hold each other accountable. They learn how to hold themselves accountable. The interaction amongst the colleagues and even the management level changed completely. Their service towards clients changed completely. They have happier clients, more customers than ever before. In the company, they're backing each other up because they have that common denominator, the 5+2. And they only look at each other, and they, in the corridor, when you walk there in the office, and they say, 5+2.
Oh, that's cool.
And they remind each other, and the dynamic is just, and within 6 months, they changed in that company. So they're really up to big things. And
that's awesome. That's fantastic.
Yeah. So love does not only stop in our closest circles, I believe. And when my big dream, once I was asked, so Daisy, what's your vision with that? And I said, well, my vision would be, so if you know somebody who is in the school administration or something, to teach that from little on. Imagine when children, let's say preschool, in a playful way, would learn how to behave in a loving way. And that's not loving. When you bully me, that's not loving. And therefore, I'm going to distance myself from you because I'm loving to myself. Within one generation, we could have a completely different society.
Wouldn't that be wonderful?
I'm working on it, Laura, and thank you for supporting my vision.
That's awesome. Yeah, for sure. Well, you have the personality to do it. And that's what you're called to be and to do. So I know lots and lots of things are going to open up just because I believe that we're called to do something, that the way will be made to do it. So
I am going to send you the detailed descriptions or the definitions of the 5+2 ingredients.
Okay.
And I will also link it here in the video so that others can have an excerpt, so they don't need to go and buy the book, because I know nowadays that money is tight in many households, and nevertheless, I love to share, and I know that there are other people who may be able to afford it and donate, because I have that option as well. So
leave us with what's the name of the book? Where can we find it?
Well, the name of the book is The Formula for Finding True Love.
Okay.
And it is available on Amazon as a paperback and as a Kindle version. Okay. And it is available on my personal website, thedaisypapp.com, as a PDF form where you can download it, or on SelfRecoding.com. That's my business website. And there you can also download it as a PDF, because some people like to highlight things in there and print it out, or, so for them. So we have it in these 3 formats.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for sharing and inviting me.
Thank you.